Hello, back again on the Top Recap channel. This time I will tell a movie's entitled The Gray Man. Let's get straight into the storyline. At the beginning of the movie, in 2003, in a Florida prison in the United States, an inmate is seen meeting with his partner. He is named Court Gentry, while his partner is named Fitzroy. Fitzroy's arrival turns out to be aimed at releasing Gentry from prison, but on the condition that he must be willing to become a member of the CIA. Gentry will be trained as an elite killing machine in a Sierra program.
I'm going to train you to kill bad guys. And since you've already killed one, it shouldn't be too difficult.
No offense, I thought you'd look different.
You work for us.
Who's us?
The CIA. You'd be part of an elite unit, the Sierra program.
18 years later, at a New Year's party in Bangkok, Gentry joins Sierra and is nicknamed Sierra 6. Here, 6 is on a mission to take out a high-profile mobster in Bangkok. Not long after, a beautiful woman named Miranda came and gave him a toy gun. Miranda is a CIA agent assigned with 6 on this mission. After that, 6 entered a room using the toy gun. While inside, 6 opened a box containing machine guns.
6. Sir, I have them.
Meanwhile, 6's boss, Denny Carmichael, watched 6 through CCTV. Not long after, the targeted mobster finally arrived with his guards.
Stay the plan.
Be advised, he's not alone.
He's almost to you. He's coming up on you now, 6.
After the target was in the room, 6 told Denny that he had locked up the target.
Target acquired.
Execute.
However, suddenly, 6 undid his intention because he saw a small child near the mobster. However, 6 had another way to kill his target.
Let's move out.
In the middle of the situation, the mobster claimed he was a former Sierra member, just like 6, and had the nickname Sierra 4.
I'm Sierra 4.
However, a disbelieving 6 was still intent on killing him. In the end, 6 managed to stab the mobster right in the heart. Before he breathed his last, the mobster gave 6 information about Sierra's program. He also warned 6 not to trust Denny easily. Before dying, the mobster gave a pendant necklace to 6. After that, Miranda arrived at the scene. 6 says that the mobster turned out to be a Sierra, just like him. Meanwhile, the other agents searched the mobster's corpse. They reported to Denny that the item they sought was not found. Denny then called 6 to ask for an important item that he was looking for. 6 then checked the important item he got. When he opened the pendant, he found a microchip inside. Feeling something was wrong, 6 immediately ended his call with Denny. After that, 6 went to an internet cafe to try to open the microchip file's contents. However, because it required an access code, he couldn't, so he decided to send the microchip to someone. Shortly after, 6 called Fitzroy and said that he had just been assigned to kill a mobster who turned out to be Sierra 4. He also mentioned that he now had a highly wanted item by Denny. Fitzroy told 6 to go to the nearest airport in Chiang Mai immediately. There, Fitzroy has acquaintances who can help him leave.
Where are you?
Bangkok.
To it. Watch your back.
You too.
Meanwhile, Denny is with his secretary, Suzanne. Denny plans to contact someone named Hansen to be assigned to catch 6 to get the microchip. However, Suzanne doesn't agree because Hansen has a character like a psychopath. Despite this, Denny insisted and contacted Hansen. Elsewhere, a man named Hansen is seen torturing a hostage. Not long after, he received a call from Denny. Denny ordered Hansen to immediately arrest 6 because he held a secret file that could put them all in jail. Suzanne will also accompany Hansen on this mission. There, Hansen asked if 6 had a close relationship with Fitzroy. If he does, then Hansen will deal with Fitzroy first.
Squeeze.
Do me right, Lloyd.
Have I ever done you wrong, Denny?
Moving on to Chiang Mai Airport, 6 is seen driving a small car and has arrived at the location.
Just a nap.
Meanwhile, at the airport, Miranda receives a call from Denny asking her to meet him in Berlin.
Get on it. Meeting me in Berlin.
On the other hand, Hansen waited for Fitzroy, who was attending his relative's funeral. Hansen's arrival aims to ask about Six's whereabouts. However, Fitzroy refused to tell him. Hearing this refusal, Hansen threatened Fitzroy by saying that he had taken his niece Claire hostage. The scene returns to Six, who is on his way. There, Fitzroy's colleague who was assigned to deliver Six suddenly gets a call from Fitzroy. Fitzroy tells his colleague to kill Six immediately. Fitzroy did this because he received a threat from Hansen. Six, who already knew about it, immediately fought the crew until the plane was damaged. Meanwhile, Fitzroy, who was with Hansen, received a call from Six. Six informed him that he had survived and was now in Turkey. There, Fitzroy tells Six that he was forced to do all this because his nephew is being held hostage. Then, Hansen asks for the phone and tells Six to return the microchip immediately. Otherwise, something will happen to Fitzroy.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same page.
After that, Hansen tells Fitzroy that all of his elite troops are currently prepared and will soon find Six's hiding place. On the other hand, Six is resting on a train, and the movie flashes back 2 years. At that time, Six was meeting with Fitzroy and a woman named Cahill. Fitzroy assigns Six to look after Claire, who is in Hong Kong because Fitzroy will have business abroad.
Which means you are going to babysit.
After that, Six was introduced to Claire.
Claire, dear, this is Six. He'll be looking after the house while Donald is away.
There, he began to live his days as a guard. At night, when Six was on guard duty, he saw Claire suddenly faint. Immediately, Six took her to the nearest hospital. After being examined, it turned out that Claire had a heart assist device that could be detected remotely. She is also not allowed to do activities that can make her tired because it is very dangerous for her health. Sometime later, when Six was talking to Claire at home, he noticed something was wrong with the CCTV in the house. Six then told Claire to go to bed immediately.
Pardon Gate 19.
Claire, who hadn't slept yet, asked Six what had happened. Six replied that it was just a broken bowl and then told Claire to go back to sleep. Back to the present, Six has arrived somewhere. There, he picks up a package containing money and an address. Six then goes to the address and meets someone named Charles. Apparently, his arrival there was to ask about Claire's current whereabouts. Charles is a professional hacker and very skilled in his field. A few moments later, Charles managed to find Claire's location. Before Six left, he was told to stand in front of a camera because Charles had to take a picture of him first. However, it turned out to be a trap.
Can you give a step towards me, please?
Sure.
Charles then told Six that he would get $50 million from someone for capturing him. Apparently, Hansen has spread Six's wanted posters worldwide in exchange for a lot of money. Moving to Berlin, it turns out that Denny invited Miranda to meet to interrogate her about Six's whereabouts. However, Miranda didn't know because, after Bangkok, she had never met Six. There, Denny told Miranda that Six had brought valuable assets to the CIA, which was very dangerous.
Do you know where Six is?
No. Never even met Six until I landed in Bangkok.
On the other hand, Six was preparing an improvised tool to break the glass that sealed the place where he was locked up. Meanwhile, Hansen, who was on the plane, received news that Six had been arrested in Vienna. Hansen immediately ordered his men to land the plane in the area. Six, who managed to destroy the plumbing, was planning to fill the room with water to create enough pressure to shatter the glass. At the same time, Hansen had arrived on the scene. Ruthlessly, Hansen shoots Charles, the man who managed to get Six trapped in the well. Once outside, Hansen was finally reunited with Six. However, he was suddenly hit by a dope shot from behind that knocked him out. It turns out that the person who shot Hansen was Miranda. After that, Miranda forced Six to come with her and drugged him so that Six could not escape. Moving to Croatia, we see Hansen, who has arrived at his base with Fitzroy. There, Suzanne is angry with Hansen because he has kidnapped Fitzroy and his niece. In the room, Claire cries when she is reunited with Fitzroy. Meanwhile, Miranda sees that Six has regained consciousness while on the road. She also asked about the whereabouts of the microchip that Denny was looking for. Six replied that he had sent the microchip to a former CIA member, Cahill, who lived in Prague. After that, Six said that he had just been assigned to kill an agent, but now he was the one being targeted. Hearing this, Miranda was silent for a moment. Back to Hansen, he got information about the CCTV in Bangkok at the time of the night's events. Six, wearing a mask, was seen sending the microchip to Prague. Knowing this, Hansen went to Fitzroy to interrogate him about someone in Prague. However, Fitzroy did not want to tell him.
It's your mother.
Boring.
Hansen, who had a psychopathic soul, began to pull out Fitzroy's nails one by one.
Who's in Prague?
I already told you I don't know.
But Fitzroy still didn't want to answer. Hansen, who was getting crazier, then started threatening to hurt Fitzroy's nephew. Meanwhile, Miranda was still thinking about what Six had said. The two of them arrived at the Cahill residence. When inside, Six asks about the contents of the microchip file he sent. They were shown the file's contents, which contained all the crimes, including the illegal business conducted by Denny. Therefore, Denny targeted Sierra 4 because 4 held the key to Denny's rottenness. Denny also uses the CIA as a tool to kill people who are considered to be able to damage his reputation. After that, Six tells Miranda that there is a more important mission currently, which is to save Fitzroy's niece, who is being held hostage by Hansen. On the other hand, Hansen had gotten information about Six's presence in Prague. Hansen then sent all his elite troops to capture Six there. Meanwhile, before Six started his mission, Cahill gave him a bulletproof car to use in this mission. At the same time, Hansen's troops began to attack Cahill's house. Six saw Miranda had brought the car keys and told her to leave immediately, while he himself would save Cahill. However, when Six entered the secret door, Cahill closed it and let Six leave.
Maggie, open the door!
When Hansen's troops entered, they were surprised to see Cahill holding a bomb to commit suicide. Meanwhile, Six, who managed to get out, had to be chased by the police. This caused Six to bump into a car and finally get caught. Knowing this, Hansen increased his troops to kill Six, who was handcuffed in the middle of the city. He also ordered all his men to shoot anyone who got in the way of the target, so the shootout began.
Confirmation on target.
Make him dead.
SWAT team approaching from the bridge.
This is insane. Lloyd, please. Pull everyone out now. Lloyd!
Extra $10 million to the first guy to put a bullet in this Ken doll's brain. I'm shooting the man handcuffed to the bench.
At his base, Hansen finds out that his army has been wiped out. He and Suzanne panic. However, one Indian contacted Hansen and said that he had tracked Six's whereabouts. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Six and Miranda apparently went to a hospital. They were both trying to find Claire's whereabouts, apparently in Croatia. As they were about to leave, Six was suddenly attacked by a man using a knife. The man was the Indian who had previously contacted Hansen. This man is named Avik. Seeing Avik, who managed to take the microchip, they tried to get it back. However, unfortunately, here Six had to be stabbed in the waist. Then, Avik ran away from there. Moving to Suzanne, she informs Denny that the microchip has been obtained. Six himself was bleeding, but he suddenly disappeared. On the other hand, Six and Miranda were hiding somewhere to treat Six's stab wounds. At that time, Miranda also asked Six why he had been imprisoned. Apparently, when Six was a teenager, he killed his father to defend his brother. At that time, Six felt that he was right, but he had to be imprisoned until he finally met Fitzroy. Moving on to Avik, who has arrived at the Hansen residence. Once there, he immediately gave them the microchip they had always wanted. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to them, Six and Miranda have also arrived there via a back route. Back in Hansen's room, here Avik hears that Hansen is going to kill a child. This makes him very disappointed with this mission. Not long after, they are surprised by a blackout. Meanwhile, Six had arrived at the room where Fitzroy and Claire were held hostage. Feeling something was wrong, Hansen rushed to Fitzroy and Claire's room. However, they were all gone.
Morons!
Then, Miranda began to act again with her bazooka. This time, she targeted the computer room.
Shit!
Moving on to Six, here, the three of them had to get an attack from the top of the building. This caused Fitzroy to be shot in the chest. Feeling things were worsening, Six invited Fitzroy and Claire to jump into the pool. However, Fitzroy refused. He told Six to save Claire immediately.
Come on, go. Take her!
Not long after, Fitzroy, who had been found by Hansen with his men. There, it turns out that Fitzroy will sacrifice himself by exploding a grenade in his hand. Moving on to Miranda, who has entered the computer room. Miranda's arrival was apparently awaited by Avik, who was still there. However, in the end, Avik gave the microchip to Miranda. Avik was very disappointed with Hansen for involving a child in this mission. Meanwhile, Hansen, who apparently survived the explosion, rushed after Six and Claire. However, Six's journey was interrupted as some of Hansen's men intercepted him. Claire helps Six by shooting Hansen with a fireworks gun, which cut some of Hansen's fingers. However, Hansen captured Claire and then took her to a maze-like park. After searching for some time, Six finally found Hansen, who was holding Claire hostage in the middle of the park.
Common, it's really a shame this isn't going to work out between us. You know, I think we would have been friends, you and I.
On the other hand, Miranda aimed at Hansen from the top of the building. However, here, Hansen let Claire go. Hansen asked Six to have a manly duel with him.
Kick his ass.
Do you miss your fingers, Lloyd? Still getting used to it. Let's see if these moves fuck.
In this fight, Six remembers his past several times when he was tortured by his father. This made Six get up and fight against Hansen. And when Six locked Hansen's neck, Hansen was suddenly shot right in the chest. Apparently the one who shot was Suzanne, so Hansen had to die on the spot. Then, Suzanne said that if he wanted Claire to stay alive, Six must want to be a witness, because they would make Hansen a scapegoat for the chaos.
Lloyd Hansen is going to posthumously take the fall for everything that has happened.
After that, Six, Claire, and Miranda were taken away from there, while Suzanne herself received the microchip. 2 weeks later, in a hospital in Washington, D.C., United States, Six received medical treatment that is closely guarded by the military. Meanwhile, at CIA headquarters, it had been declared that Hansen was guilty, so Denny, Suzanne, and Miranda were acquitted of the incident. After that, Denny destroys the microchip. Moving on to Claire, who has been held somewhere. She is closely guarded by some of Suzanne's men. Meanwhile, Denny and Suzanne will see Six's condition at the hospital. There, they were informed that Six was currently unresponsive and lying weak. However, when they arrive at Six's room, they are surprised by the guards lying down and Six escaping from there. Back to Claire. Upon arriving at the room, Claire gets a message on a cassette tape that reads, "Play me loud." When Claire listens to the music, it turns out that Six is finishing off the guards there. After that, Six comes to Claire, then they leave, and the film ends.